Well, hello, thank you for joining me today again on the Church History Trail. And where we are is we're in KINSALE Museum, as you can see, and we're actually inside the museum now. And of course, this originally was the market house, and then it became a courthouse, and now it is a museum, and it dates from about 1600. And you can see some of the reproduction here of the seals of the various kings. And this one is Charter of Queen Elizabeth I to the Corporation of KINSALE in 1589. So it's not the real thing, it's a reproduction of the real thing. And that one there is letters patent of King George the First, 1721 to 1722. And then that's the Charter to KINSALE by King James the First, 1610. And this one here is actually King James. You can see a wee photograph there of James on that one, King James II. And it was charter granted to KINSALE by King James II, 1689. And so there's different wee artifacts here, but why we're here actually is to look at Patrick Cutter O'Brien and his big boots. So Patrick's boots, of course that's Giant Patrick O'Brien, Cutter O'Brien, and his boots are actually in KINSALE Museum. And there you can see a picture of William Penn. William Penn was the founder of Pennsylvania in America, of course. And there's some other wee photographs here or paintings. This is a reproduction of the landing of King James II at KINSALE. Of course, he landed here during the Williamite Jacobite Wars in Ireland. And then after the Battle of the Boyne, when James was defeated by King William III, he left for France, and that's him leaving for France. And this here is actually a cannon, and this cannon is a ship's gun from the siege of KINSALE in 1601, as you can see. So there you go. And then that's the Battle of KINSALE. And you can see all the different participants. And that statue there of Hugh O'Neill, I think that's the one I seen in Donegal. I think that's actually in Donegal town, down by the harbour, near the monastery. I'm near enough sure that's the same one. Now, it says here, the Battle of KINSALE. The picture in the frame is known as the tapestry of the Battle of KINSALE, which is now hanging in Trinity College, Dublin, where it has been kept since 1784. And it says the painting is remarkable for its accurate portrayal of topographical features around KINSALE and in its seemingly accurate serialization into bite-sized pieces of the battle itself. It was most likely commissioned by Lord Mountjoy. And then it goes on. And so that's it there. As you can see, a reproduction of it. There's some memorabilia from the Battle of KINSALE. That one there is O'Donnell's belt, Battle of KINSALE 1602. So that's his belt. Fantastic, isn't it? There's some cannonballs from 1601, the Battle of KINSALE. And also a spear, Battle of KINSALE 1601, and then the lead shot also from 1601 in the Battle of KINSALE. So pretty amazing. But the reason why we're here is to look at Patrick Cutter. And Patrick Cutter, or at least to look at his boots. And Patrick Cutter O'Brien, he was an Irish gent, but he was born on the 19th of January 1760. And he was born in KINSALE in County Cork, and he was just over 8 feet tall. And here you can see some more artifacts. And he adopted his stage name O'Brien, claiming that he actually descended from the legendary figure Brian Boru, the Irish king. And there you can see some antler heads. That's great Irish deer. Or antler, a deer's horn, should I say. I'm not sure what you call them. It says here, Great Irish Deer, found at Saxon Creek by Edward Coursey in 1888. Antlers, that's what they are. That's the word I'm looking for. And they're 7 feet 6 inches in span. So there you are. You can see some other artifacts there in the museum. And of course, it also mentions the ship, the Lusitania, because it was there was a trial here. If I remember rightly, I think it was either 1915 or 1917. I think it was 1915. And the room is actually kept pretty much as it was back then. You can see there, that's a deck chair from the Lusitania. And there's the foreign US mail, 1 registered, 1913. You can see the date there. So a big history with the Lusitania here as well. Here's some keys. Grand Magazine, Charles Fort, are they from Charles Fort? I'll have to tell my friend Jim about those, if he hasn't seen them. Now, in 1804, Patrick had made enough money showcasing himself on stage because of his great size that he could retire at the age of just 44 years of age. And there's a very interesting story about O'Connor, because one night a highwayman held up his coach, and when O'Connor looked out to see what was happening, and the highwayman seen him, he scarpered because of his great size. He was so scared. Now, what you see here is Michael Collins, and it says here concerning Michael Collins that Collins returned to Ireland in 1916 and quickly rose in the ranks of the IRB. That's the Irish Republican Brotherhood. He took part in the 1916 Rising, where he was arrested and then sent to prison in Wales. On his return, he joined Sinn Féin, a nationalist group initiated by Arthur Griffith. Collins soon gained a prominent position in the organisation, and in 1918 he was elected to Parliament for the Cork South seat. And it says the following year he was appointed Minister for Finance. He also became leader of the Irish Republican Army and helped create an extensive intelligence network around the country. And then it says there, Collins was a man of considerable intelligence, energy and strength of character. He was athletic and involved in sports, particularly hurling, from an early age. His education and personal learning helped define his nationalist and patriotic ideas, and he continued to read passionately throughout his life. He also had a strong sense of humour and a habit of teasing people. So there you can see him, and you can see him there them playing hurling. And that's the actual hurley stick that he used, believe it or believe it not. Used by Michael Collins in London before 1916. So there you are. And so the highwayman got a shock whenever he held up Patrick Cotter O'Brien's coach. And here what you can see is actually, this is a harpoon gun. And this harpoon gun is actually, as you can see there, from Scott's Antarctic exhibition. So amazing that they have this here. And you can see some of the photographs and information there. But it's amazing that they have this, isn't it? And so Patrick Cotter O'Brien, he died in Bristol on the 8th of September 1806. And it is believed that he died from the effects of the disease known as gigantism. Now, no hearse could be found to accommodate his 8-foot 4-inch coffin, and so his remains were carried to the grave by relays of 14 men. And an arm of Patrick's is actually reserved, believe it or believe it not, in the Museum of the Royal College of Surgeons in London. And this is the man himself. This is Patrick Cotter O'Brien. Amazing, isn't it? And this is Patrick Cotter O'Brien's big boots. There's no way I could fill those boots. Definitely not. And that's him on himself. There it says, there you can see a shoe. The Kinsale Giant, 18th century. Photograph of the chair used by Patrick Cotter O'Brien, 1760 to 1806, known as the Kinsale Giant. He was 8 foot 3 inches in height. Originally a plasterer by trade, he made a fortune on the English stage as a curiosity. He is buried in the Catholic Church, Trenchard Street, Bristol. The chair is in the Municipal Museum, Bristol. So there you are. Kinsale's Giant, Patrick Cotter O'Brien. It's amazing to have these, isn't it? And I'll read this wee bit out to you. That's incredible, isn't it? It says there, Patrick Cotter O'Brien, 1760 to September 8, 1806, was the first of only 12 people in medical history to stand at a verified height of 8 feet or more. O'Brien was born in Kinsale, County Cork, Ireland. His real name was Patrick Cotter, and he adopted O'Brien as his stage name in the sideshow circuit. He was also known as the Bristol Giant and the Irish Giant, and he is believed to have died from the effects of a disease, gigantism. And so you can pause the video and read the rest of that for yourself. And just read the bottom wee bit here. It says, Patrick Cotter, usually known as O'Brien, the Irish Giant, he stood 8 feet 3 inches in his stockings. So there you go. And this here says, life-size picture. And it's a replica of Patrick Cotter O'Brien, the Giant of Kinsale, 1760 to 1806. And it was presented to the Kinsale Museum by Grapehill Perforac, I don't know what that is, Perforators, I think it is, and Weavers Limited in April 2016. And so there you are. That's Patrick Cotter O'Brien. And of course, it reminds me of what it says in the Bible in Genesis 6, verse 4. There were giants on the earth in those days. And I think the reason why the Bible says that is because there were giants in the earth there were giants on the earth in those days. So thanks for watching. And also, if you're interested in the history of giants, I have also done another video when I was in Rostrevor, where I videoed Patrick Murphy's grave. Of course, Patrick Murphy is the Giant of Rostrevor, and so you can check out that wee video as well on Patrick Murphy. So thanks for watching, and God bless.